I went to see Knowing today. Didn't really know what to expect. I saw the advertisements for it. That was pretty much all I knew about it. I knew that it had Nicolas Cage in it, but, I typically enjoy his movies for the most part. Basically, what I have to say about it is, if the books of the Bible, Genesis and Revelations, were adapted into a science fiction film, it would basically be Knowing. It was an interesting mix of science fiction and just religion. It was enough of a mix to where it wouldn't necessarily offend the religious, particularly Christians, obviously. But it was enough science fiction, but it was enough religion to kind of give it that connectedness. I would say that actually the best part of the film is the soundtrack, is the music. It's very reminiscent of mid Hitchcock, like during the times of Psycho and North by Northwest and those movies. The music was very much like that, which is great because it gives it this old, kind of an old movie feel. Not necessarily old movie, but, classic movie feel, and yet at the same time it builds suspense, and, so I would actually say that was the best part of the film. I thought the ending could have been a little better, but I will say, and this is something of a spoiler, so if you don't want to know the end of the movie, then turn this off right now. But I will say, for the director, for, whoever made the film, I didn't pay attention to the credits. I will say that it takes a lot of balls to destroy the whole entire world. Especially whenever the only survivors are a couple of kids. So speaking for the filmmaker, I will say that, that takes a lot of balls. It's really hard to make a movie that will make it in the mainstream with the whole world being destroyed. So, props to you on that, I guess, for, stepping out there and making your movie despite what might or might not sell. On a side note, actually, the most exciting part, the most exciting thing that I saw happened before the movie. It was even more exciting than the soundtrack. It was more exciting than the musical score. And that is that Sam Raimi is making another horror film, which I don't think he's really done horror since The Evil Dead. I could be wrong. I probably am. But that I'm aware of, he hasn't really done too many horror films, like flat out straight horror films, since the Evil Dead series. So I'm really, really anxious to see how it turns out. If he can make a good horror film even with something of a budget, because part of the charm of the Evil Dead movies was the fact that there was no budget. So we'll see if his budget filmmaking can live up to his non-budget or low-budget filmmaking, because I have to say that all the movies that I've seen that he's directed where he's had any kind of budget, they haven't been very good. I mean, the Spider-Man trilogy, they're fun action flicks, but, nothing special. The Darkman movies, or at least the first one, decent, but nothing compared to the Evil Dead movies. The Gift, not a very good movie, and I know he's done others, but off the top of my head, I can't think of them. And I know this has nothing to do with Knowing, so I'm sorry for that little side rant, but I just wanted to say that I'm excited about it. So, but yeah, if you watch Knowing, pay attention to the music. It's pretty good. There were actually some points where it was kind of cheesy, but I like cheesy, little things like that in movies. I'm a big fan of old movies and cheesy horror films, so, there were some things like that. The acting really wasn't too bad. I thought Nicolas Cage did a pretty good job of, whenever he was drunk and trying to figure out the numbers. I actually thought that he did a pretty good job. The kid wasn't the best actor, but I thought that he was good enough to make it work. The crazy girl, or not the crazy, I guess she didn't turn out to be crazy, but everyone thought she was crazy. The girl who writes the numbers, she did a good job portraying that disturbed kind of person, and all in all, it was a decent film. It's worth at least one watch. I don't know if I'll buy it. I probably won't. It's not something that I feel is necessary for my collection. But it's decent. It's good enough. I'll put it that way.